Hello, welcome to part two of this discussion about whether or not you have to cough up your slides when you're doing a presentation for somebody. We're going to talk about the more complicated scenarios involving you in your slides. Again, there can be legal aspects to this topic. This is not legal advice, it's only practical business advice. Consult an attorney, your attorney, not someone paid for by somebody else, if you have any questions. Caring for your intellectual property is a significant concern and not one that should just be shrugged off. In case you missed the first part, there's a link in the article that accompanies this video, or you can also find it on my YouTube channel. So we're going to talk about scenario number 3 here. What if you're a contractor or a consultant, basically a hired expert? Now this one can be sticky and complicated, and the answer is it depends, which is not exactly helpful. But it depends on your contract that you have with the person that's paying you. If your presentation was created as part of the services or the work product that you're doing for a fee, that may belong to whoever is writing that check. Unless presentations and IP or certain parts of it are excluded from their ownership in your contract. If you are in this situation, having an attorney help you go through it and make sure that the contract is on terms that you are comfortable with in addition to the other party can really head off problems down the road, and it will help clarify everybody understand where they stand. So here's a red flag, and this is a situation which I witnessed where one client or a consultant for a client gave a presentation on the work they were doing for that client at a conference. The client argued that it contained their IP and that the consultant needed to get permission before talking about it in advance. Now, from my knowledge, the contract was a little vague, so it did not really address anything about getting advance permission from what I was aware of. But I didn't know the specifics of how this incident was resolved, other than it did ruin that client-consultant relationship, and they ceased doing business together. Now, scenario number 4 is, what if you're an independent speaker? So this applies to a person that's basically beholden to no one on what they have to say. An engagement like this might be for professional speaking where you're getting paid, or it could be for a volunteer basis. Maybe it's for marketing for your business, whatever it might be. And you have control over your presentation and its contents. Now, it's not uncommon for events and organizers to request your slide deck via email so that their AV staff can run it during your presentation. Another consideration, though, is why are you speaking? Are you and your topic in demand? This gives you leverage in this situation. Are you speaking to create awareness for you and your business? It might be for free at a highly attended event. Does the benefit of speaking and sharing your slides outweigh the concern about someone taking your IP in some format? Now, some people will circumvent this concern by sharing their slides, making it available for download, emailing them out, or they allow and even encourage people to take photographs of their slides. Now, this is your call, but as a general policy, I don't provide my slides to others. Now, there are exceptions depending on the content and the occasion, but typically I run them from my device, whether it's a laptop, a tablet, a phone, whatever it might be. Once you share your deck and your IP with anyone via email, thumb drive, or file sharing, it's out in the wild, and it has the potential to be abused by other people. Now, people can always swipe your slides, your IP, and all of your time, and then that work, has been lost to some extent. So it's things to think about. What's the risk benefit, and how do you weigh that? Now, in closing, something I also like to share here is when I speak at an event and decline to provide my slides for them to put on their machines, I get often a reaction that's kind of tends towards disbelief, including usually the question of, why would you not want to send your slides to us? And a lot of times it's followed by, why are you being paranoid? And it's this lack of respect or appreciation for people's hard work. It used to surprise me, not anymore. And it really comes from people's different perspectives. A quick note before I forget, also be sure to check your contract that you might have or agreement with whoever you're speaking with, and look to see if it includes language that requires you to send your presentation. I have seen this happen before, and never take a contract for granted. Always read through the different sections and address that if it has that and if it's a problem for you. Now, when someone responds with one of these questions, like why wouldn't you want to send it to us, one of the easiest ways I've found to deal with it is just simply to say it's not my policy. And a lot of times, for some reason, when you include the word policy, people back off. As far as the paranoia remark, people are more often consumers than creators of information, of products, of opinions, without making their own. And it's that background that really handicaps their understanding and why this is so important to those of us who create our own intellectual property. Now, these situations can also be handled by going back to scenario 2 in the first part of this discussion: don't use slides. Have you seen an American president using slides? Ross Perot, as a candidate for president, had his little slides, but generally, State of the Union address or stuff like that, there's not a slideshow involved. Same thing with most CEOs speak, with the exception of when Steve Jobs did product reveals in his announcements. But for the most part, you don't see slideshows being used in these situations. Remember, you're the expert. You're the one bringing the knowledge to the event, not your slide deck. Do you have to give someone your slides for a presentation? This should give you enough knowledge to be aware of what you might be dealing with. Tomorrow, things could change. With enough zeros and commas and a payday, I can send you my slides.